Hi, I'm Eddie Muller, and once again, it's time for Noir Alley. Today's film is not for the faint of heart. It's one of the most suspenseful films of all time, as well as one of the most influential. Made in France in 1955, it's Les Diaboliques, shortened to simply Diabolique when it was released in America the following year. Keeping the French spelling and pronunciation gave it a mysterious quality that the literal translation, diabolic, just doesn't have. Now, I'm sure there are viewers asking why I'm showing a horror movie on Noir Alley, but we'll discuss that after we've watched the movie. Trying to stick a label on this film is tricky. It's a mystery, it's a thriller, it's got the vibe of a horror film, and there's even a little bit of supernatural subtext. But mostly, it's a classic noir premise. A pair of lovers conspire to bump off a cruel, abusive husband. Only in this case, the lovers are two women. One, the intended victim's wife, the other, his beleaguered mistress. Now, whether the women are actually lovers or not is open to conjecture, just one of the intriguing ambiguities built into the film by its co-writer and director, Henri-Georges Clouzot. Clouzot was a significant and controversial figure in French cinema. A scriptwriter during the 1930s, he began making films in the 40s at Continental Pictures, a Nazi-controlled studio created by the Germans when they occupied France. His 1943 film, Le Corbeau, was vilified by both French and German critics, despite it being his first masterpiece. Post-war, Clouzot was branded a Nazi collaborator by the French government and prohibited from ever again working in motion pictures. That ban was reduced to 2 years after protests from many of France's most prominent artists. In 1953, Clouzot scored an international hit with The Wages of Fear, one of the greatest action thrillers ever made. For a follow-up, he wanted something even more provocative and sensational. It was Clouzot's Brazilian wife, Vera Gibson Amado, who read She Who Was No More, the second novel from the writing team of Pierre Boileau and Thomas Narcejac. At Vera's urging, Clouzot devoured the book in one night, and the next morning secured the film rights. Legend has it that he beat Alfred Hitchcock to the punch by mere hours. A twist of fate Hitchcock would not forget. Clouzot spent 18 months working on a script with his brother, who wrote under the pseudonym Jérôme Geronimi. They made a couple of crucial changes to the story, which I'll explain once you've watched the movie. Of course, the director cast his wife as Christina, the timid spouse of the cruel headmaster played by Paul Meurice. The other woman in the triangle is the great Simone Signoret, playing Nicole, the headmaster's vengeful mistress. Rounding out the cast is Charles Vanel as Inspector Fichet, who suspects that something is amiss at the De La Salle boarding school. For a quiet, small film, the production was long and arduous. Signoret had signed on for an 8-week shoot, but production stretched on for over 4 months, leading to so much tension between the actress and director, they were no longer speaking by the time shooting wrapped. Clouzot was a perfectionist, not only about the performances, but the art direction and cinematography, both of which are essential to the film's dank and sinister atmosphere. Even more than the unexpected plot twists, it's the sense of dread and decay that makes Diabolique feel like a horror movie, even though the plot, beneath the creep factor, is yet another variation on The Postman Always Rings Twice. Diabolique was a sensation upon its release, not just in France, but globally. The terrifying last act earned Clouzot comparisons to Hitchcock, the renowned master of suspense. Clouzot even displayed some of Hitchcock's showmanship by attaching a title card at the end, imploring viewers not to reveal the shocking climax and the startling final twist. Now, if you have not seen it before, get ready. Here is one of the creepiest, most suspenseful movies ever made, Diabolique.